Matt Galloway, good interview about the Canadian Armed Forces. You had good guests. You asked good questions. One was shy but a very good communicator, and of course with the permission to do the interview and how it was pre-prepared, and it was very valuable. You're discussing the Chinese tapping into espionage through technology. When I traveled and just doing a stop in China on the way somewhere else, yeah, they went through my suitcase and took a little charging battery pack there. I'm not even sure if there was energy in it, but it was a charging little thing in case you'd need to plug in somewhere. But is that the only thing, right, that they did? I was sitting next to their security on the plane, who had an interesting conversation with me, wanting to come to Canada with his son and visit and maybe even stay. I don't know, but he was security, and definitely Korean, very paranoid there too. They left with my backpack. I don't know what kind of tracer they might have put in it. There was a lot of padding, cushioning in that backpack. They could have pushed something in. Japanese left with my computer at one point when it was being repaired under Dell. No reason they needed to go that long unless like the guy just wanted to vacuum things that might have been particles and smoke a cigarette, and I don't know. But I didn't give him permission to do that. And Japanese, stole intellectual property of mine that I had passed on to their government to introduce myself, and then they must have sent it to their university that used the same word but for different purposes as my specialty. Then I went to a police station in Japan and said, "Look, I'm mailing this letter, which was English and Japanese, to that university and that person. I'm not doing a complaint at this time, but I'm keeping an eye on them not to kind of. It's better to collaborate with me than steal from me and pretend like you're a specialist of the same things." So yes, there's trauma. There's trauma in the culture of the Chinese, the Korean, the Japanese, and it's behind a lot of this thing. But one thing that you're not talking about, Matt Galloway, here that's extremely important is I'm having issues with my MacBook Air right now. And it kind of started on the day of an appointment to discuss a program with the RCMP in an online meeting. It wasn't going great before the computer, but it got really worse after that. Now, I'm doing research right now to try to find out how to do diagnostic and clean up my computer. And companies that we are almost entirely stuck with, pretty much, in North America, want to micromanage their stuff so much that they make us more vulnerable with our privacy and our information. Like, try to find out how easy it is for a MacBook to even reach a person called customer support, and to then have to trust them sometimes to take remote control of your computer, these people you don't know. You don't know if the call got diverted. But the thing is people have to learn more about how to do self-diagnosis with their laptops. But that has to be given to the consumer by the companies like Microsoft or Apple. And again, I would like to return to maybe Microsoft, but they still didn't provide me a way to say I don't appreciate extortion, because my first email was a Hotmail, and they decided at one point that I had to pay money for extra storage, and if I didn't pay it, I couldn't get into my account. That means I couldn't get into my account to remove volume of data, so I didn't feel forced to do storage extra fees with them, having already been a consumer of Microsoft in various ways over time, such as their operating system and devices. So it's not like it's other countries. The companies that are supposedly safe in our own countries are not. And when you got the CRA recommending software on their website, recommending, it's written on there. Oh yeah, you can use Inuit TurboTax. Do you know how many people got compromised with that? And the CRA years later, maybe even still today, recommends that. So we need to educate ourselves a lot more than find who's doing this. Because if the companies that we want to trust can't be trusted, like they don't allow us the knowledge or the software tools to keep ourselves safe with our own devices because they're trying to micromanage everything, that's a real risk to us even using computers. So talk about this. Talk about let's start at home instead of blaming the Chinese with their own, paranoia and traumas that we also have based on a lot of things. There's no culture right now that doesn't have immense traumas as part of what guides their behaviors. And none of these cultures have trauma healing institutions that are even 10% at the levels of efficiency that they need to be to heal the traumas. So, what do you think? Do you think that wars will increase, Matt Galloway? And do you think they'll only be on, the minefields? No, they'll be everywhere because we're not having the right conversations of why we don't even trust our own neighbors, our own citizens.